What's up, YouTube? I'm going to take a little break from my sewing videos, and that might anger some of you. But my goal for this channel is to one day be the Martha Stewart of the interwebs. Now, I love to sew, and it's my favorite thing to do, but there's also a lot of other DIYs that I'd like to include in this channel, such as gardening, canning, dehydrating, and cooking. I'd like this channel to become a Scrappy's patch of DIY projects. So today, I'm going to show you how I start my pepper and tomato seeds indoors. I would have liked to have started these seeds last week, but our Christmas kept getting postponed, and we finally had it this past Sunday. This year, I'm planting 11 different varieties of tomato and 11 different varieties of peppers. Most of my seeds I ended up buying from Dollar Seed, where, as you can guess, each packet of seed is $1. But this fall, when I ordered these, they were having a sale, and every seed packet was 85 cents. You can't beat that. Starting your tomato and pepper plants inside from seed is very economical. Considering one tomato plant or one pepper plant is $3 to $4, that's outrageous. So let me clean up this mess here, and I'll show you how it's done. The first thing that you're going to need is one of these seed cell trays. These are very inexpensive. I think I got this one for under $5. But if you wait till the end of the season to buy it for next year, you can get them a lot cheaper than that. I've used this one for 4 years now, because that's how long I've been gardening here at Mother's house, and they hold up just fine. If one does happen to crack down here, I just go ahead and wrap a piece of duct tape around it, and it's perfectly fine. Now, these seed cell trays come with this cover. I recommend not using it. Whenever I have these on top of my seeds, they tend to mold and fungus grows wild. So I just like to put it here at the bottom for extra strength at the bottom. Next, you're going to need some kind of seed starting mix. I'm using this Jiffy brand here. It's natural and organic, and I got this at Walmart for $5. Right now, in the Omaha area, they're just now starting to put out their garden center stuff, so you should be able to find something that you could use. And of course, you're going to need your seeds, and I like to use popsicle sticks to label my seed cells. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this bag. I'm going to dump it in a bucket here and add some water. You want to pre-moisten your seed starting mix. That way, when you go to water your seedlings when you're done, it'll suck that water right up. If you don't do that, the water just kind of sits on top and doesn't soak into the plant. It's very important to keep your seeds nice and moist until they start sprouting. So I'll show you how it's done. So all I'm going to do is dump my seed starting mix right here in this container. Try not to make a mess all over Mother's floor. I'm going to grab a container of water here, and I'm going to dump some water in, stirring as I go. Now, you definitely don't want this sopping wet. I probably used maybe a quarter a gallon, but you just want to make sure that's nice and moist. When I can squeeze it together and it kind of holds its shape, that's just perfect. Next, you just want to grab one of your seed cells here, and you want to fill it up with your seed starting mix. So what I do at first is I just go ahead and fill it up loosely, and then go ahead and push it down into the seed cell. But you don't really want to compact it rock hard, just kind of lightly. just like that, and then top off that layer with another loose layer. Just like that. And I also like to kind of pat that down, but not as hard as the first time. You want your little seedling roots to be able to dig down in there and find the water. Next, grab your seed packet. Today, I'm going to start with these tomato great whites. Now, I've never even seen a white tomato before, so I'm very interested to see how these turn out. And if it's truly going to be white or like a pale green color. I definitely will show you any updates this summer in the garden. So I'm going to need 4 tomato plants for my garden. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and plant all 6 cells just to make sure that I have enough to fill up my garden, and any extra will go to my buddy. I also like to put 2 seeds per cell. That way I have better chances of at least 1 plant sprouting in each of the 6 cells. So I'm just going to take this little stuffing stick here that I use specifically for this purpose, and I'm going to make 2 little holes just like that in each seed cell. Now unfortunately, if 2 plants happen to come up in 1 cell, you are going to have to murder one of them. You may think that that's a waste of a seed, but considering the cost of plants these days and how much these seed packets were, only 85 cents, I think it's very economical, and I'm not going to cry about it. So now I just dumped my seeds into my hand, and I'm going to put 1 seed per little hole. Now this seed packet says it came with 91 seeds. I just used 12 here, so you can see how economical this really is. Now if you need to, go ahead and poke some of these seeds down a little farther that are on top here. And then just go ahead and cover your seeds, pressing down gently. Now like I said before, you don't want to compact these down really hard. I once heard online that you just want to press as hard as you would if you're touching your eye. So next, when you have all your seeds covered here, I like to take a popsicle stick and I'm going to label this cell. I have my diagram for my garden here and a list of everything that I'm going to plant, and I numbered them all. So my great white tomatoes just happens to be number 4. So I'm going to just put a 4 on my popsicle stick. Now I like using a pin over a marker because once these go into the tomato cells, they'll soak up water and the marker tends to bleed. But if you're using a pin, you can really dig into the wood. So even if it does bleed a little bit, you can at least see the number indented into the wood. Now I'm just going to stick that carefully here on the side. And that's 1 seed cell done. Now I'm going to do the exact same process with my pepper plants. I like to start my tomatoes and my peppers as early as I can. And then in a couple weeks, probably the first week of February, I'm going to go ahead and start my cucumbers, my eggplant, and anything else that I need to start by seed. Peppers especially take a really long time to germinate and to grow, so that's why I like to do them as early as possible. Now, I really don't have any problems with my tomatoes germinating, but the bigger the plant is when they go into the garden this spring, the more tomatoes you'll have by the end. So I'm just going to whip up the rest of these and I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, I have my 11 varieties of tomatoes here, all of their seed cells, and this one right here, I just went ahead and started some tomatillas also. Now the next thing you want to do is add water, and you want to water from the bottom. So I'm just going to lift up 1 seed cell and I'm going to put about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches of water here at the bottom. Now I'm just going to let this set for about 30 minutes and then come back and drain any water off. Now you don't want to keep these setting in water because that'll tend to make them rot. But you don't want to let them dry out either. So about every other day I'll come and I'll give them a nice drink of water from the bottom. And if your tops start to dry out too quickly, just go ahead and spray the top with a mister bottle. Now finally you just want to find a nice sunny window to put these in. Right over here is our patio door to our top deck. I find it a perfect place to place these little seedlings. Now our patio door faces east, but I've had no problems in past years growing my seeds right there, but a south-facing window would be best. Now the only other problem I have is keeping the cat and dog out of these. For some reason my dog just loves to stick her nose up in here to see what kind of treasure she could find. Now I'll be sure to show you the progress of my little seedlings throughout the next few weeks, and I'll also show you how I transfer them into plastic cups when they get too big for this. Now I hope you give this a try. It's very economical and extremely easy to start your plants at home. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or just want to leave a suggestion for an upcoming video, leave me a comment. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.